Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless. Nick Newman hits the floor hard and Kane Ashby becomes the hero everyone knew would happen. The Canadian Day Ahead Young and the Restless recap from Monday is one of those episodes where it seems like two different stories are going to until the emotional weight of both of them hits at the same time. Nick Newman is rushing to save Sharon and Noah from Matt Clark in Las Vegas. But the rescue goes horribly wrong when Nick passes out in front of them. At the same time, Kane Ashby gets the kind of news that saves his life and makes him the best part of a very bad week. He is Malcolm's match. The episode will air in the US on Monday, April 27 and the Canada a day earlier. The recap makes it clear that both storylines are meant to hit viewers hard. The part of the episode that takes place in Vegas is scary. Matt has already caught Sharon and Noah in an empty carriage, and by the time Nick and Adam get there, it's already too late. Matt makes fun of Sharon and Noah, tells them that no one will ever find their car, and says he is going to leave them to die. He even tells you how to do it. Get cold before you starve. Matt is now acting with that level of cold-blooded cruelty. He doesn't just want to scare them, he wants them to know that he is completely willing to leave them to die slowly and painfully. Sharon and Noah are scared because they are not only physically trapped but also emotionally trapped. Matt keeps bringing up Noah's betrayal and blaming him for sleeping with his wife. Sharon tries to get him to let Noah go, but Noah begs for his mother's safety. Matt says no to every request. Instead, he uses their pain as a weapon by telling them they will die together and then leaving them chained up. That exit is just as important as his threats because it shows he trusts his setup enough to let the environment do the killing for him. The fact that Matt keeps control after he leaves makes things even worse. The summary says he watches Sharon and Noah on a video feed, so he doesn't have to be in the same room to keep the affair going. He can see every time they try to break free, every time they pull on the chains in a panic, and every time they panic. Sharon tries to grab a toolbox with her foot, but it's still too far away. Noah is worried that Matt is using them to get Nick and Adam to come over. That suspicion is important because it shows that the characters know what's going on even though they're stuck in it. Nick and Adam aren't coming at the best time either. The recap shows that Adam is worried that Nick isn't fit to drive, and that worry is quickly proven to be true. Nick is sweating, shaking, and clearly going through withdrawal. Nick won't stop asking Adam if he's okay, even though Adam tells him straight out that he is not. The brothers fight, then stop, switch seats, and Adam tells Nick to take what he needs to get through the moment. Nick shoves pills into his mouth and says he won't pass out. Adam says they will help him later, but right now the mission is more important. The order of events make the title Nick Newman hits the floor hard feels like it should be. This is not a random soap opera fainting spell. It happens when a man pushes himself too far, trying to keep a rescue going while his body is actively fighting back. The summary is clear. When Nick and Adam get to the garage, there are no cars there. Nick thinks he addressed was the wild goose chase, and then Adam kicks the door in to find Sharon and Noah. Nick is still shaking and starting at the wall when he suddenly falls over. That's the hard hit, not a metaphor in person right away. The collapse hits even harder because it happens right when the rescue seems to be working. The gun is with Adam. The door to the garage is open. You can see Sharon and Noah. It should feel like a win, but Nick goes down, and the mood goes from tense to terrible. Matt's cruelty makes the scene feel so dark. He isn't just watching from afar, he's driving away while keeping an eye on the garage with a security camera. That detail makes Nick's fall even more embarrassing and dangerous because Matt gets to see the result of his own plan in real time. This week, Nick and Kane also have very different feelings. Nick is falling apart under pressure, but Kane is stepping up with a selfless act that changes the mood in Genoa City right away. The summary says that Kane gives Lily the news she has been waiting for. He is Malcolm's match. That is a big deal because Malcolm's situation has already been shown to the bed. And Lily has been waiting for news. Kane is one of the few people in this story who is moving toward help instead of chaos. He offers himself up for tasting and then proves to be a match. The way people react to Kane is what makes the move so emotional. Devon is suspicious right away, but Lily is thankful Devon is worried that Kane is using Malcolm's crisis as an excuse to get back into Lily's life. Holden asks Kane directly if he did this for Lily or for some other reason. Those questions are important because they show that people are not just accepting Kane's hero turn. He is doing the right thing, but people are still asking why. In soap opera language, that's what makes the move interesting. Even a real act of kindness has a hidden motive. Still, from the point of view of the viewer, Kane is clearly the hero of the week. Not only he is a match, but he is also the only person in the story who is really bringing hope into a room full of problems. Lily is waiting for the results and she finally gets the kind of answer she can use. Malcolm's fight now has a chance to go on, and Kane, whether people believe him or not, becomes the person who can save a life instead of just getting revenge. If there is a hero everyone saw coming, bit here, it's because the show has set up Kane's gesture as the only clean, selfless thing that happens in an episode that is mostly about Matt's cruelty and Nick's breakdown. That is an inference, by the way the recap puts him there makes it very likely. The episode also works because it cleverly makes the two storylines sound like they are related. Nick is falling apart physically as he tries to save people he cares about. Kane is becoming a donor, which could save a life. One man is being pulled down by pressure withdrawal and Matt's trap. The other is being raised up by the chance to be the answer instead of another problem. YNR is good at making emotional structures like that. One part of the canvas shows how bad things can get, while another shows that hope can still come in a scene that seems impossible at first. After Nick passes out, things are especially bad for Sharon and Noah. They are still in the garage, still chained up, and still being watched by Matt. The recap makes it clear that they haven't been rescued cleanly even after Adam breaks in. Sharon and Noah are still trying to get away, and Sharon is still worried that no one knows where they are. Noah thinks Nick and Adam are coming, but the scene doesn't feel like a sure rescue anymore. At best, it feels like damage control. That's what makes Nick's fall so terrible. The rescue comes, but the cost is high and immediate. Kane's story, on the other hand, gives the episode a human heartbeat that Nick's collapse doesn't. Lily has been waiting, hoping, and getting ready for the worst with Malcolm. When Kane turns out to be a match, the story suddenly opens a door instead of closing on. Devon might not trust Kane's reasons for doing things, and Holden might still be trying to figure out what kind of man Kane is now. But the fact is that Kane is the one who can really help them survive. That matters in a week when Matt made death threats and Nick fell apart physically a lot. That's why Monday Canadian Day ahead seems so full. Matt leaves Sharon and Noah to a terrible fate. Nick trips and falls at the worst possible time, and Kane's news gives us a rare reason to breathe. The episode isn't just dark or hopeful, it is both, one on top of the other. One half of the hour asks how much pain a bad guy can cause before the rescue fails. The other half wonders if a man with a traveled past can still do something good when it matters. Those are the types of questions that keep the young and the restless going. The shape of the week is clear by the end of the day ahead recap. Nick is in danger of being the first person to fall during a rescue that should have saved everyone. Sharon and Noah are still in danger. Matt is still watching, and Adam is left to try to keep everything together while Nick literally hits the floor. But Kane's good news gives Lily something to hold on to, which is a big deal. Hope often comes late and under pressure in Genoa City, but when it does, it still changes the course of the story. Kane Ashby looks like that kind of turn this week. This episode of The Young and the Restless really doesn't pull its punches. You are getting two storylines that are deliberately built to collide emotionally, not plot-wise, and the contrast in the whole point. On one side, you have got Nick Newman hitting absolute rock bottom, and it's not framed as heroic. His collapse isn't a battle wound. It's the consequence of being pushed too far physically and mentally while Matt Clark is actively engineering. The timing is what makes it brutal. The rescue is right there. The door is open. Sharon Newman and Noah Newman are within reach, and that's when Nick drops. That's not bad luck, that's storytelling design. It flips the expected payoff into something else, and with Matt watching it unfold remotely, it adds a layer of humiliation and control. He doesn't just trap people. Meanwhile, Adam Newman is left holding the situation together, and this is where the fallout starts to build. Because Nick going down doesn't just raise the stakes physically, it instantly reframes Adam's earlier decision. The do what you have to do moment stops looking like a desperate solution and starts looking like a potential trigger. Whether it's fear or not, that guilt is coming. Now contrast that with Kane Ashby. His storyline is almost suspiciously clean, and that's intentional. In an episode full of manipulation poison, Ken step in with something simple. He can save a life. Being a match for Malcolm Winters instantly reframes as him and the opposite of everything happening in Vegas. But it's not completely pure, and the show makes sure that you notice that. Lily Winters sees hope. Devon Hamilton sees motive. That tension matters because Wayana rarely lets a hero moment exist without questioning it. Even when someone does the right thing, why still lingers. So when people say Kane becomes the hero everyone knew would happen, it's only half true. Here's the emotional relief valve. But the show is already planting seeds that his return to hero status might come with complications. What really makes this episode work is the structure. Nick represents collapse under pressure, Kane represents redemption through action, Matt represents control through cruelty, and they are all happening at the same time. By the end, you are left in a very uncomfortable place. The rescue isn't clean, the villain is still in control, the hero might have strings attached, and the person who tried the hardest is the one who falls first. That's classic Wayana storytelling. It doesn't reward effort, it rewards timing, control, and sometimes sheer luck. And right now, Nick had none of those on his side.